Really weird history stories that sound fake but are real. Throughout history, countless strange and unexpected events have unfolded, overshadowed by grander narratives, but no less compelling in their bizarre details. These eerie, unsettling stories reveal the hidden underbelly of history, tales that sound too strange to be true yet are rooted in fact. From individuals who defied the odds in ways that border on the supernatural to chilling historical quirks that shape the world, these accounts remind us that truth is often far stranger than fiction. Violet Jessup, the unsinkable survivor. Some people seem marked by fate, and none more so than Violet Jessup, a woman who danced with death on the high seas again and again. Born in 1887 to Irish immigrants in Argentina, Violet endured a sickly childhood, but survived against all odds. Perhaps fate had already chosen her to be its favorite plaything, because as an adult, she found herself employed by the White Star Line, a prestigious shipping company known for its luxurious and unsinkable vessels. First came the RMS Olympic, the largest ocean liner of its time. Violet was on board when it collided with a British warship in 1911, leaving the ship heavily damaged but afloat. Undeterred, she continued her career and boarded the RMS Titanic the following year. We all know how that story ended: ice, chaos, and tragedy in the frigid Atlantic. Violet, displaying remarkable composure, was placed in Lifeboat 16, carrying a baby given to her by a desperate passenger. She survived once more. One might think she would abandon ships forever, but no. During World War I, Violet served as a nurse aboard the Britannic, a hospital ship. When it struck a mine and began sinking, she leaped into the water, only to be sucked beneath the ship's propellers. She survived yet again, suffering only a head injury. It seemed nothing, not war, disaster, or the ocean itself, could take her down. Violet lived to the age of 83, a testament to resilience, luck, or something eerier still. Mithridates VI, the poison king paranoia often breeds obsession, but rarely does it create a legacy of near immortality. Mithridates VI of Pontus, a king who ruled in the shadow of Rome, feared poison more than he feared armies. He had reason to. His own mother may have plotted to kill him. Determined to outwit any would-be assassins, Mithridates began a lifelong experiment. He dosed himself with small amounts of poison daily, attempting to build an immunity to every lethal substance known to man. The twisted irony of his paranoia became legend. After decades of resisting Roman conquest, his empire crumbled, and Mithridates found himself cornered. Rather than face capture, he attempted to poison himself, but after a lifetime of self-immunization, the lethal dose had no effect. In frustration, he was forced to order a soldier to kill him by the sword. A ruler who spent his life fearing poison met his end by steel, proving that fate always has the last laugh. The Black Death and the massacre of Cats. Black Death, a pestilence of biblical proportions, tore through Europe in the 14th century, wiping out nearly half the population. But humanity's response to the crisis was often as bizarre as the plague itself. In a wave of mass hysteria, people turned their fear toward unlikely suspects, cats, especially black ones. Convinced that felines were agents of the devil and responsible for spreading the disease, people across Europe slaughtered them en masse. But their panic only hastened their doom. With fewer cats roaming the streets, the rat population exploded, providing more hosts for the plague-carrying fleas. The death toll surged, and the superstitious paranoia that had led to the Cats massacre had, in a dark twist of irony, sealed the fate of millions. Only after the connection between rats and the disease became clearer did people realize their mistake, and cats were welcomed back into society, playing a crucial role in curbing the plague spread. The initial response to the pandemic overlooked the crucial role that cats played in controlling rat populations, which inadvertently exacerbated the crisis. Over time, as the death toll continued to rise and the connection between rats and the plague became clearer, people began to recognize the importance of cats in maintaining a balance in the ecosystem. Eventually, the realization dawned that these animals were not the enemy, but rather vital allies in the fight against the disease. Cats began to be welcomed back into homes and communities, where they resumed their role as effective hunters of rodents. This shift in perception highlighted the interconnectedness of species and the importance of biodiversity in managing public health crises. The overlooked impact of cats during the Black Death serves as a poignant reminder of how fear and misunderstanding can lead to unintended consequences, ultimately shaping the course of history in ways that are often forgotten. Darius the Great and the Magus impostor throne of Persia was not won by mere battle, was won by deception, by shadows and whispers. Darius the Great, the ruler who would expand the Achaemenid Empire to its greatest heights, did not claim his throne by blood, but by intrigue. After the death of Cambyses II, an impostor arose, a man claiming to be Bardia, the king's brother. But Bardia was dead, a secret kept from the public. The impostor, a magus priest skilled in illusion and deception, fooled the kingdom. His rule might have lasted had Darius not intervened. In a campaign of psychological warfare, Darius spread the rumor that the new king was not Bardia, but an impostor sorcerer. It worked. The people, already steeped in fear of magic and the supernatural, began to doubt their ruler. Darius and a small group of noble conspirators stormed the palace and slaughtered the false king. With the trickery undone, Darius ascended to the throne. But the echoes of that deception lingered, as whispers claimed that the real Bardia had been murdered, not by the magus, but by Darius himself. The truth remains buried in time, yet the eerie rise of Darius the Great reminds us that history is often written by those who wield deception best. Admiral Yi Sun-sin, the ghost of the Sifu figures in military history command the same reverence as Admiral Yi Sun-sin, the Korean naval hero who defied death and destruction during Japan's invasion in the late 16th century. But his victories were not merely strategic, they carried an aura of the supernatural. Betrayed, imprisoned, and tortured by his own government, Yi was released only because Korea found itself in dire need of a leader. He returned to the sea and, despite overwhelming odds, annihilated entire enemy fleets. His greatest moment came at the Battle of Myeongyang, where, with only 13 ships, he obliterated over 300 Japanese vessels. Witnesses claimed it was as though the sea itself fought alongside him. Some even believed he had been gifted divine protection. In his final battle, he was shot and killed, but his men, fearful that news of his death would shake morale, propped up his body and continued fighting as if he were still commanding. The ruse worked, and the Koreans achieved victory. When the battle was won, they finally announced their admiral's death, as if even the specter of his leadership had been enough to win the day. History is filled with these eerie, unsettling tales, stories of individuals who defied fate, events that unfolded in chilling irony, and moments that seemed too strange to be real. Yet these are not myths or legends, they are the peculiar truths of our past, hidden in the folds of time. My name is Penny Flick, with Kreep-ish. I'll be back with more stories that challenge our perceptions, question reality, and keep us peering into the darkness of history. Comment below on your thoughts. What stories intrigue you the most? What mysteries do you want uncovered? Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, the truth is often stranger than fiction.